I was asked to pull the permit for the Pride Parade in Pride March in 1978. We had been working on the No on 6, which was the Briggs Initiative. We had been working on the Briggs Initiative, and the people who were working on the Briggs Initiative wanted to put the parade together, put the march together. And to keep it legal, we needed a permit from the police. And then I went on to become a co-chair with a woman for the parade that year. Prop 6 was an initiative that would allow the firing of gay and lesbian teachers. They wouldn't need, you wouldn't need a reason, you wouldn't need a cause. You could just fire, you could outright dismiss. Actually, they wouldn't be allowed to teach in California at all. And I think looking back through my friends, I know I've had a lot of people who have been successful teachers, and it would have been a loss for the state, for the children in the state, if it had passed. But they saw that. I think the enemies of gay people saw that as an easy target, an easy way to get to us. And they could mobilize against us. But it was defeated, fortunately. We said that our worst enemies were our best friends, because the people like Anita Bryant and John Briggs actually moved gays and lesbians to action in California. I think the more she tried to put us down, the more we were standing up for our rights. So I think she really mobilized us. I was in my first march in '77, and then I came back to co-chair it in '78, and I think I pretty much marched in every parade for about the next probably 10 years or so. Walked in every parade, and it depended on more what was happening that day with me than being afraid to be out. And I guess that maybe that's something that I'd forgotten about, and maybe people aren't aware of. There was a lot of talk about snipers in '78, was that there might be people armed with rifles or whatever, guns, who would shoot the people who were in the parade or in the march, simply because they were gay and on the street. I'd forgotten about that. The police were there. The police presence was there, I think, to protect San Diego from the faggots, but they were also quite welcome. We welcomed the protection from any potential protesters and things like that. Yeah. The march itself actually happened, and it happened on that date. But at the time, the center of gay life, the center of a gay man's life, was the bar. And we depended on the bars for financial support for any political causes that we had. They gave, if somebody was in financial trouble and needed a hand, and we went to the bars and had fundraisers. If we wanted to get the word out, we took flyers to the bars, and we knew the bars. And because that was the one place where we could be ourselves, we felt. It was the one place that we could go and socialize as gay men, was the bars. And so when the people and it was mainly the people who previously held the permits for the parade, or they had organized the parades in previous years, but they wanted to exclude the women. They did not want the women involved, because they thought that once the women are involved, they'll take over. They'll take all control away from the men and be in control of our parade and our center. And so they're the ones that put out the flyers that said there will be no parade, and it has been canceled because of the socialists who are involved. Well, the way I remember the Socialist Workers' Party, where there were a bunch of maybe college-age kids, and they were into socialism, and I was really not that savvy on political systems, and enough to say, socialism is bad as opposed to democracy is good, or something like that. And so they kind of came to to the parade meeting and said, we'd like to have a contingency in the parade. And we said, okay, you can do it, but because you're not particularly a gay or lesbian organization or group, you have to be at the tail end, you know, but you can come. You know, we welcome anybody who would be an ally at the time was important. So we were welcoming them to come. And then the people who were against the organizers of the parade, who really felt that they were disenfranchised by the organizers of the parade, used that as kind of a, and they called it red baiting, where they said, okay, the communists have now taken over the parade, and they're going to destroy the parade, and they're going to make all the gays communist, which was just kind of a silly thought. I don't remember the why, except to make it a little more lighthearted and to make it a little more fun. I can only think that we were maybe, might have been some point around the 1980 that we looked at the Rose Bowl and that parade, and we looked at other fun parades in town, fun parades in the country, and said, okay, that's what we want more of. I know going to San Francisco about that time to attend their march was just, it was every workers' organization in the Bay Area. You know, we had the LGBT electrical workers from Sausalito. I mean, and it was a real march, and it was kind of a drag. It was kind of like, we should enjoy our lives. We should enjoy ourselves. And we were also getting into more of a party attitude. This is pre-AIDS. This is the 80s, and free love and free sex, and so we wanted something that was a little bit more fun. And we knew we had to provide, as an organizer, you had to provide it to attract people to your event. The festival grew. It was really a fair. It was really a thing afterwards, so that we could kind of hang together, and plus you could bring in money-making things like venues, like food and souvenirs and speakers. But there was some question for a while there whether the festival was not taking away from the rally. The rally was the thing that you had on Friday night, and then the festival you had on Saturday and Sunday. And some of the people who wanted us to have a strong rally said, well, these people are, you know, they're getting ready for the festival and the parade the next day. They're not coming out to the rally, so maybe we need to do away with the festival. And, you know, but it's all been proved wrong now.